Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Moss Family Chevrolet in Tampa, Florida, because guess what? We have one heck of an off-road truck. This is a 2019 Chevrolet Colorado ZR2 Midnight Edition. So let's talk a little bit about the Colorado. The Colorado is that mid-size truck in Chevrolet's lineup. That truck is meant to go against the other big names, the Toyota Tacoma, the GMC Canyon, the Nissan Frontier, so on and so forth. And of course, the new Ford Ranger. This though has a lot of off-road experience, engineering, and technology that Chevrolet has picked up along the way and thrown it at this truck, because I'm telling you, everything, including that off-road kitchen sink, has been given to make this a ZR2. So this is, like I said, that Colorado that's really gonna take you off-roading like you've never been before. And obviously this is a direct competitor to that Tacoma TRD Pro. So let's go ahead, dive into the 2019 ZR2. Right off the bat, you'll notice what is different. On the ZR2, this lower front fascia, totally different from the standard Colorado. Now the Colorado has basically been this design since about 2015. So it is in the need of a redesign, but on the ZR2, there's a lot of off-road business going on. You can see how they have actually cut out a lot of the front fascia on each corner of the bumper. Nice hard ABS plastic is gonna be able to take a beating from brush, from rocks and all that. We come across the front grille area. I like it. It looks tough. You got that blacked out Chevrolet bow tie, little bit of gloss black, and then you can see more of the ABS. But if you go a little further, knock, knock, who's there? You have two massive skid plates, not just one, two. So you are gonna be protected from that front radiator all the way past the oil pan. That is what Chevrolet is all about with that ZR2. I really also like the ZR2 badge. Very nice looking badge. You got these flat black tow hooks, but all the way across, this thing sits 2 inches higher off the ground than your standard Colorado, and it's about 1 inch wider. Very menacing just from the front. Now, as we go up onto the hood, special design hood for the Colorado ZR2. I like the way that it's flat black. My only problem is that even as you come to the back of this raised area, it's non-functioning. There's no functional heat extractor, so I am gonna zonk this. It's sort of like just a big piece of plastic, but it definitely gives the hood a lot of definition and makes it look even more menacing from the front end. Now, as we come around the bend, here's where you're gonna see a lot of magic going on here. You have these aluminum 17-inch wheels, 31-inch tires on the ZR2. Now, behind that, I'm gonna have Tom kind of sneak in, because remember, we're sitting 2 inches higher. So what you're looking at with that suspension is you have totally different control arms. The control arms are actually cast iron. They're not aluminum. That's gonna help take that beating. You're also looking at a special suspension setup. This has the Multimatic dampers that are spool valve. This is gonna allow you to really just take on any off-road terrain that is thrown at you. But having those cast iron control arms rather than aluminum, those are gonna take a bigger beating. The control arms on this vehicle are actually a little bit longer. That's gonna help give you that width, that nice ability to grab the ground and get you through just about anything. But really love the way that this truck sits, especially Midnight Edition, all blacked out. Now, as we go into the side here, you'll notice that you have frame protection. So full frame protection from those rocks and whatnot. This is not a step bar. It's not really anywhere where you're gonna wanna put your foot. I wish that they did have an actual step here just to help you get in, because it is sitting 2 inches higher. But that's something that you wanna look for when you're going off-roading, is you wanna have that frame protection from rocks and whatnot. Same setup as any other Colorado from the side. I'm gonna have Tom kind of swing around and just show you that front fender, how flared out it is, especially with that extra ABS flat black plastic. Really gives this truck a really like Baja 500 look to it. Now, as we continue our way towards the bed of the truck, you can see the massive light bar that's been placed here. 2 functioning lights up top. You got the ZR2 badging that's actually cut into the metal. Very nice look. And once again, just something that when you think of off-road, you think of having pieces like that in your truck. Now, another thing that's amazing, you have both locking front and rear differentials. That's a very important thing if you're gonna go off-roading, and this ZR2 definitely has it. We got our ZR2 badge on the back, and then coming around back, very clean, same setup as any other Colorado. Obviously, this has the V6. You can see how much height we got going on here. One thing I also want to point out, on the ZR2, you are going to get, they take out your standard spare and they give you that same 17-inch wheel spare, nicely tucked underneath. You got your tow package, you got all your connections ready to rock and roll and take you off-roading. We're gonna go ahead and drop the back. It's got a nice soft release to it, and you could see the size of the bed of the truck. One thing I wish there was in the back of this truck was some LED lighting. Other than that, you have the nice protection to protect the inside of the bed, and I really like the ZR2 badging also in the bed of the truck. But just a tough looking truck, all in black, ready for the off-road. Why don't we go ahead, pop the hood, and see what's powering this ZR2. All right, guys, we got the hood popped on the ZR2. One thing off the bat that's wonderful to see are hood struts, gonna help support that hood. My big complaint about underneath the hood, though, is that engine cover has got to be one of the worst in the industry. It literally looks like a Rubbermaid trash can lid. I feel like I could lift this up and throw some of my trash in there, but you know what? That is a pretty potent engine. So what you're looking at is a 3.6 liter V6, 308 horsepower, 275 pound-feet of torque. It all goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Of course, this has all-wheel drive. What ZR2 would not have all-wheel drive? 0 to 60 in about 6.5 seconds, quarter mile in 15.4, and a top speed of around 100 miles an hour. Like I said, you compare this to your standard Colorado, it's the same exact V6 that you could get in any other Colorado. So some people might say, hey, I would like a little bit more power, especially if I am doing some major off-roading. But you know what? I think from an overall standpoint, it's tried and true and it gets the business done. Why don't we go ahead, fire the ZR2 up and see what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside the 2019 Colorado ZR2, that Midnight Edition. I know you're probably saying, hey, Joe, with that four-wheel drive capability and being able to go off-road and having all these special pieces designed just for this car, or excuse me, truck, how much does it cost? MSRP on this one is around $47,000. There's a lot that goes with wanting to go off-road and doing it really well. Let's go ahead and see what else you get for the money. Now, door panels, a lot of flat black, a lot of hard material. You know, I am gonna zonk it, but I know a lot of you are gonna come back at me and say, hey, this is an off-road truck. We want something easy to clean and use. Okay, I'm fine with that. I'm okay with the black door panel. I just wish there was some softer materials, at least on the top of the door panel and the armrest itself. The armrest is sort of like this rubber material, which I'm not really the biggest fan of. Now, when you come to the dash, more of that rock hard material for a $47,000 truck, just a little softer. I'm not asking for the plushness of, you know, a Bentley or something. I'm just a little soft material. Now, you do get your nice size infotainment system here. This is all still very dated. So we could zonk it on style, but on functionality, it really works very well. When you go into your system, very fast reacting. I like the colors, I like the graphics. Of course, you're gonna get Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and all those great features. As you come down, you got your rubber coated so you can grip as you're going off-road, listening to you know, Pearl Jam or whatever you're rocking out to. You got your home button here, takes you right nicely back. There's sort of like this dead space here, but I'm okay with it. It's not trying to look like a button. Very simple AC controls. Now that's another zonk. At $47,000, I would like to see dual climate control. That way your passenger could be one temp and you could be one temp. Here's the plethora of toggle switches for your locking the diff. You see how it's showing you here if you want to lock those electronically controlled front and rear diffs. You do have heated seats, but no ventilated seats. That's another zonk for $47,000. I would like to stay cool on my body as I'm going off-road. Down here, you get a nice cubby area, 2 USBs and a 12 volt, 2 cup holders. This thing is gonna be shifting that 8-speed automatic transmission. I don't like the way they have the toggle switch to go up and down the gears if you wanna do it manually. I wish there was a different way that they had that set up. And this actual shifter reminds me of a shifter out of a Pontiac Firebird, an automatic from 1988. So that to me is a zonk just from an aesthetic standpoint. You do get wireless charging for your cell phone, which is great. Nice high armrest, just not very soft. Open it up and you got plenty of room in here. No other connectivity. So all your connectivity is gonna be happening up front and through this wireless charging. Now the seats are basically the same seats out of a Colorado. Only difference is they take that ZR2 embroidery. It does look good. The seats are on the harder side, but you know what? When you get driving, they actually start to feel pretty good. Manual controls on the back of the seat, but you do have electric on the bottom. Once again, I'm gonna say it. We're talking about dollars. I'm not comparing this to the Raptor, so don't get upset about that, but I'm saying for $47,000, I would like at least a power driver's seat. But why don't you come over to the business end? I'll show you behind the wheel of this ZR2. All right, guys, business end. Like I said earlier in other Colorado reviews, I got plenty of headroom in here, which is really great. And I think it's smart to go with the lighter headliner just to brighten it up because, like I said, there is a lot of dark materials. Steering wheel has a great feel to it. The only thing is I wish they would put a different horn button because this is the ZR2. Or maybe just a totally different wheel would be really amazing. Dash, very simplistic, but it does work. You have all analog, and then you have that digital display in the center where you could toggle through different functions and whatnot as you go across the top there, which is a nice, convenient setup. The Game Boy buttons work very well. They just don't look anything exciting, but I am gonna say it once again. I know that this is an off-road truck and you guys are going and girls are going to get it all dirty and whatnot, and this is just easy to clean. I get it, but it would be cool to have a different steering wheel, you have to admit. But why don't we go ahead, check out the back seat and see what's different in a ZR2. All right, guys, we're in the back seat of the ZR2. One thing that your passengers are not going to love is that, guess what? Your ZR2 doesn't have anything really more spectacular back here than a regular Colorado. Now, full leather interior is great. The seats are comfy, and they have just a nice slight lean to it to where, being 6 feet tall, I feel like I could ride for a pretty long time back here. The only problem is like I have not moved the seat forward from where I was sitting, and you can see just how limited the real estate is from my knees to the back of the seat. I wish they would have just cut that out and just give you some notches in there so that you'd have the room. Now, you do have connectivity back here, a 12 volt and 2 USBs. It would be nice. You see this hole right here that's supposed to be a cubby for your phone or whatnot, or maybe some candy corn. Yes, I just said candy corn. But anyways, that would be nice to have 2 rear AC vents back there. I think that your passengers would appreciate that. What they are gonna get though, is they're gonna get an armrest. Well, it's actually a cup holder rest. Still don't understand why they do this, put it this way, but it is soft on the edges. You just gotta make sure you're on the edge. And then rear window, nice manual, easy to get to. You can reach back there, pass through whatever you need to pass through. Somebody's giving you a snack, or maybe they're refilling the candy corn. You can get it through there. But why don't we go ahead and get to the best part of this ZR2. Let's take it for a drive. All right, guys, we're in the 2019 ZR2. Like I was saying earlier, I think the one place you're not going to be able to argue anything about the ZR2 is performance. Even on asphalt, I love the way this truck drives. I almost said it. This truck drives so nicely, especially with that Multimatic suspension setup. Really allows you to soak up the bumps, of course, on this road, but when you're going off-roading, it's going to allow that as well. The great news is, if you want to drive this every day, you can, and it's very easy to drive on the road. You're not getting a bunch of floaty suspension to it and whatnot. Very, very smooth, and I am loving the feedback to the steering wheel. I guess really where it just is lacking is gonna be in the refinement parts of updated tech inside. But I'm sure that the next design of the Colorado is gonna have some updated features. Now, this going up against the Tacoma TRD Pro, I would really love to do a head-to-head and take them off-road, because I'd be quite curious to know which would come out on top. But let me go ahead and get on the loud pedal. That V6, 8-speed automatic, really smooth, get you up and going. And this isn't about winning a drag race at a street light. This is about getting through that rut section or climbing the side of a mountain. And I think that this definitely, with those lockable those lockable differentials, both front and rear, but you can see even it handles very responsive for a lifted truck. 2-inch lift from the factory. I do like the visibility out the front. Back is great. The mirrors work really nice. I just wish I could take it off-road and really show you guys the full potential of this, because that's really where this thing is going to shine. You got those extra large control arms, cast iron, be able to take a beating very easily, and really do the business on the off-road sections. All right, guys, we found this little area. I just want to, I know this isn't real off-roading or anything, but just show you the capabilities as we come up to this curb here. I'm gonna go ahead and you just 1, 2, 3, you're on top right here, on driving your ZR2. So this truck, really, this is where you feel so comfortable, even doing the off-roading stuff. And that's what I really like about this, is that you can really do some damage off-road if this is where you want to take it. Very nice. Remember, you have all of those skid plates. The 2 skid plates underneath is going to really help protect the radiator all the way back to the oil pan. And to be honest with you, I mean, to take the curb, I mean, it's really doing the business. I mean, even through this area over here. And really, off-roading, this thing really shines. Like I said, in Florida, the biggest thing we have are curbs and speed bumps. So I wish I could showcase a little bit more for you, but hopefully this just gives you a little taste of just scratching the surface of the capabilities of this thing. I mean, here I go right up on this curb. 1, 2, 3. It's that simple. And that's what I love about this truck. It is a performer off-road for sure. I think really the fun part for an enthusiast would be you get to drive this truck every day if you wanted to. You could drive it to work. Here I am on this highway here doing 50 miles an hour. Very comfortable. The seats are supportive. They're a little on the firm side, but I really think that when you're doing the off-road business, that's really where they come into play. But they are pretty comfortable even for daily driving, not getting too much road noise from those 31-inch tires. Doing 52 miles an hour, it's not too noisy. It's actually quite tight in the cabin. I wish that that was some type of functioning hood scoop or heat extractor. That's my only zonk looking out the front windshield, is seeing that piece of plastic there and knowing that it does absolutely nothing, but it surely looks good, that's for sure. So maybe we'll give it a quarter zonk, not a full 100% zonk on that fake heat extractor, power bulge, whatever you want to call it, on the hood. But everything is in a great place. It just feels a little dated in here. I mean, that's what it comes down to. But if you want to, like I said, I'm going to say it one more time, if you want a capable off-road truck, this thing is the business. It really is. I mean, Ford does not currently have really a Ranger to go up against something like this. TRD Pro is what you're looking at. Now, if they do Ford brings over the Ford Ranger Raptor, it'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting. But remember, if you need more than this, Chevy also does make the Bison as well. But hopefully this gave you a little bit of everything. I'm proud to say I was at least able to climb some curbs with this ZR2. But we're gonna go ahead and get back to Moss Family Chevrolet and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been a magnificent day here at Moss Family Chevrolet. The ZR2, what could we say? The money that you're spending on this truck has been invested in those pieces that if you're really gonna take this off-road, this truck is gonna make you extremely happy. Are there some other areas where there could be improvement? Sure. But from a performance standpoint, nobody, including me, is arguing the performance, especially the off-road performance of this ZR2. If these are the types of things that you like to see on Rady's Rides, leave a comment in that comment section. If you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you here on Rady's Rides, click the link in the description, takes you right to Spreadshirt. Get yourself the all-new Zonk shirt. We got to thank Big Guns McGee, Tom Moschner, working the camera. He's actually here doing a special photo shoot for Chevrolet, so get ready for those pictures at Mosch Photos. You definitely want to see him on Instagram. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.